Greetings, sir and sirettes, and welcome back to Terratech with me, Lathrix, and of course, welcome back to our little base on the edge of the Salt Flats. In today's episode, we have two very simple goals, the first of which is to sort out some missions so that we can level up our reputation, and hopefully get to a decent level even with Venture, as although I don't want to go heavily into Venture builds, I do want a few of their items, such as their Fabricator, I want their gyroscopes, and I want their flying capabilities, which honestly are the best flying capabilities in my opinion, as I do love the really tiny little flyers, unlike the Hawkeye flyers, which tend to be a fair bit bigger. Not saying you can't build them small, but normally I end up building them far too big. In addition to this, I would like some defenses, finally, around this base, which basically means I'm going to get one of the AI, put it on a rotating anchor, and then load it up with weapons. Very simple, and yet also very, very effective. So, let's go, and let's sort out craftier business first, and see what we're going to get. Nice of Crafty Mike for once to actually be on the Salt Flats, that certainly makes things easier. And yes, I'm your old pal. Now, a lot of people have said I should build Crafty Mike in order to defend our base. So, after I killed this fellow, there we go, let's have a quick look-see at Crafty Mike. Can we build our own with the items we currently have? So, I think that AI module for the head is actually a unique module anyway, so I can't do that, but of course I can just use the AI module we have on the cat at the moment, the scaredy cat. The drills I have, the armor I don't have yet, the fuel tank I don't have yet, and I don't have the gyroscope. But to be honest, you can't really see the gyroscope. I do have these sleds. Sleds? They're not called sleds, are they? They're called... Oh my lord, I have completely forgot what these things are called. They're called plows, that's it. Suddenly it hit me, and I kind of facepalmed. Anyway, so he's just gave us a scrapper, which means now we can really make quite a bit of money, because it means all of these spare items I'm getting, like the dirt wheels, rather than selling directly to the trading post, I can do this with them, which of course is to scrap them. We get the parts they were made of, or at least some of the parts, which then can be refined and then sold. This will give us a lot more money, and as we've set up our base so weirdly, I can actually attach this directly to the start of our base with absolutely no issue. One of the bonuses for building so weirdly. Now, one thing a lot of people did say, and I did do this in the first episode, or at least the first episode I was building the base, is that you can still sell stuff if you do have the refineries attached to the fabricators, but it can be a little bit more difficult because they have to be after the fabricator so that the connection doesn't indicate that this course is going to the fabricator itself. So I may try and do that in the future, but like I say, what I will most likely do is just build a separate base for fabrication and a separate base for selling stuff. It will be significantly easier. Can I just say that looked really cool, and if it was on purpose, that would be awesome. Also, did I really not attach a radar to this thing? Apparently not. Hello, tiny shooter. Goodbye, tiny shooter. Although your parts are giving me hassle. Get away from... Fine. There we go. Let's do it correctly. Back at the base, and let's get this sorted. So, do I have any more conveyors? I have a lot of spare conveyors. Let's put those down here. Once again, pretending that I did that last little bit there on purpose. There we go. I even have one of these spare, which is pretty darn nice. And then at the end, we can shove that. There we go. Although I think I'd rather have it like this, just to make it a little bit easier for me to put things in the end there. Good, good, good. And now we can just feed it all of our spare stuff. So I'm never going to want these dirt wheels. So you can have all of these. Enjoy. I've just realised the dirt wheels are made of the exact same stuff as the hub wheels, which means we are going to make loads of hub wheels from dirt wheels now. That is really cool, and I'm suddenly getting a really strong Factorio vibe now that we have so many of these. Let's just make sure... Oh, when did that take damage? Ah, stop, stop, stop. Damage has been taken. It doesn't really matter too much, but this little bit there is wrong. Ah, when did that get hurt? There we go. Thankfully, it wasn't actually affecting anything. Now, normally, I would have the black hole generator over at the end here, so let's grab that. There's the SCU, as I just called the black hole generator, because let's face it, that sounds far cooler, and yet that's working absolutely fine. So, as soon as I want to make other things, that's when we need to make the new fabricator base, because this is too specific, and I could technically speaking, I could actually repeat this pattern over and over again, and have it build anything. I could do that very easily, as long as I have the raw materials being siphoned off as well, and that's why it's so silly. That's why I do need to rebuild it. I kind of convinced myself out of that then. Ooh, we may be full on the plumbite stuff. Still though, lots of wheels. Awesome. No money though. I do actually need a fair bit of block bucks, so don't really like these lasers anymore so much, but I don't know. Here, have these 2 rubbish guns. They're free of charge. I have massively underestimated how many resources a single silo can hold. Now, of course, once this becomes completely full, this lovely circuit here will become filled as well, as you can see here, and then so will the filters, and now any plumbite after this will simply go towards the delivery cannon. Unless we can make more, of course, which apparently now we can. Okay, I think it's reached the point I can't be lazy anymore. We need to build our fabricator base, because right now I would like to build batteries, but of course the issue is I would have to swap around the filters and do all sorts of other stupid stuff. So I may keep this as it is, as a memento of a simpler and better time, but I think it is about time we build a new crafting base. Good, we actually do have a fabricator. I was about to say, never mind, we don't even have a fabricator anyway, but we do, so all is good. There we are, and let's put some conveyors going towards it, like so. And then we need at least 1 refinery, although honestly I would prefer 2. Now let's say I do want to build batteries now, which require Rhodius capsules. I don't know what a Rhodius is. It looks like a type of crystal, honestly, or it might be one of those more turquoise-looking minerals. Either way, craft that and repeat, because why not? Now that should connect to this once that's connected properly. Yes, it does. Excellent. Now, honestly, it would be better if we had at least 2 refineries. Let's grab one of those again. There we go. Just in case. So right now, it will refine these 2 items, if those items do happen to go past. After this, we need some more conveyors. No, don't make them. Let me place them. That would be better. Thank you. My voice is already breaking. It's only been like half an hour of recording. Come on. That's a little bit too quick. So then the idea is we have the silos, and then at the end we have our regular little collector items. So with this, it's incredibly simple, and this will do pretty much all of our needs, although we definitely need more of the silos, and we could separate the minerals if we wanted to. If we just wanted them to look nice and pretty and neat, which will definitely happen in the future. So now, the idea is, you put a mineral in here, it goes to the silo. If that mineral is needed, the silo will then let it go, and it will go towards the fabricator. Along the way, if that mineral needs to be refined, it will be refined by one of the refineries, and then will continue. If it doesn't need to be refined, it will just go all the way to the fabricator. Really simple, isn't it? My problem occurred when I was just a little bit silly thinking that we could do something else and not really understanding the implications of a lot of the different mechanisms. Rather than filters, we could also use the filtered node silos. So these act like the regular silos, but they only allow certain things, and it's the first one they get. So filters would still make that easier, but it's pretty much the same idea. Okay, so I just did a quick check, and yes, everything is working fine. I've put the scrapper over here now, and as you can see, the scrapper will produce items. Any items not needed for the recipe right now will be stored in the silos. Any which are needed will simply go along. So next then, I need to get some rhodite ore. In fact, we need quite a lot of it. I don't think I've seen any of that yet. Maybe I have, and I've simply sold it too quickly to really remember it, but I can't remember it off the top of my head. let's quickly grab the SCU, and then let's go and find some ore, just to make sure this works forever. And the best thing with this setup is we can always swap what we need, in fact what we're crafting, and as long as one of the silos has it, it will then work. This is pretty much it. This is the entire build. Of course, you can build it a lot bigger and a lot more extravagant and a fair bit more efficient, but that's a crafting base. I sort of forgot I was doing this mission for Geocorp. So what do we get? We get a fixed anchor, and then a couple of cute little items. Okay, well, let's just grab those as I continue to harvest everything in sight. Well, hello, the very first invasion of the season. So let's see what attacks us. Hopefully, something with items I have not yet unlocked. Could you hold a fabricator for Venture? That would be kind of cool. Hello! Oh, wow, a lot of Venture stuff anyway. Oh, dear lord, that is so many more shots than me. But we instantly took out his shields. Oh, dear, there goes mine. I'm going to lose some blocks in this. Oh, yes, I am. Just keep on going. Everything's fine. Come on, hit him a bit more. Thank you. That's it. You better run away. That's not too bad. Didn't lose all that much. Ah, why did you suddenly change direction? I got juked. There you go. Goodbye. Oh, we lost a lot at the very end there. But we did gain a lot as well. We just lost our weapons. Not too bad. Lost a couple of wheels, lost a couple of drills, and then lost all of the weapons. But we seem to have got most of our weapons back, and some mortars. So that's pretty cool. I don't actually like mortars all that much, but they will be worth quite a lot to sell. Worth it. Worth it. We even got one of the GSO thrusters, so that's pretty cool. Which reminds me, I should look at the crafter and see if we can make the armor plating so that we can make our very own Crafty Mike bodyguard. Because that is definitely one of the best ideas I've ever seen from the comment section, to be brutally honest. It was awesome. Okay, so... oh, we don't have enough drills! Now I feel sad. Yeah, we lost a load of our pound cannons there. But we did get a lot of Venture stuff at least, so... it kind of breaks even, really, I think. Did we get anything else interesting at least? Let's go to Venture. Yeah, we had almost no blocks before, now we have some more wheels, didn't get any of their weapons. And nothing else there, so... got some of those. Okay, yeah, we got a couple of bubble projectors as well. They apparently fell off, which are worth a lot as well. So I think we got the value back, but it wasn't worth the effort. Okay, let's go back and heal up. So I've just got back, and it turns out we can actually build the component factory ourselves, and it's very cheap. Although, once again, I do need to go and find some of that lovely, lovely green ore. And actually, while I'm here, how expensive are the drills? Very cheap. Okay, so at least I can always just make those again soon enough. But either way, we need to go out and get these three things. This can be found a lot in the salt flats. This is somewhere over there. I know at least 2 veins, and that, well, it's time for an adventure. Well, that was easy. There's the rhodite, so it seems like it spawns in the more hilly biomes. Okay, here's a really interesting mission, not because the mission itself is overly exciting, but it sort of confirms something I was talking about in the past. So this is the Escaped Convict. An Escaped Convict has been spotted in this area. He's stolen someone's tech and he's on the run. Find him and neutralize his tech within the time limit. This means the techs are driven by an entity. Not proven human or not, but either way, they're not just mindless drones being controlled from elsewhere. That was the question I had a few episodes ago. So yes, we have actually been killing people. Just a bit of food for thought. No! I hate trading stations. There's the dastardly convict. Let's get him. I imagine he's probably going to run away. Or just kind of glitch out a bit and then try to run after a while. Hello, I have drills. How are you? And... pop. There we go. Once again, we've murdered someone. Excellent. Oh, yes, that's what I wanted, a fuel tank. That is actually really, really good, since I do want to start using thrusters on this tech very soon. That is very, very nice indeed. There we are, I've finally got all of the items I need, so let's get back and finally build ourselves the component factory. I'm really hoping this works in the way I think it works. Otherwise, it's going to be incredibly annoying, and then complexity will be added. I like simple things. I am a simple person who likes simple things, and this much is obvious. Here we are, we now have the component factory, and we have a little runoff section here, because it turns out I kind of filled up all of our space with the silos. So let's see how this works then. The component factory takes lower resource types and works them into component chunks of various grades. The component factory range of outputs can be upgraded by attaching component dongle blocks. In its vanilla state, it can produce level 1 components. So, how do we put this on here? And does it function with the fabricator? Actually, where is the front and the back of this thing? It's really weird looking. With way too many connection points, I have to say. Okay, so we want it on the opposite side then, okay. So, yeah. Let's see if it does connect then to this. So let's say I want to make this. This requires these two things. Can it make both of those? Yes, it can. Please make me a pound cannon. Yes, it does function. Fantastic. So it is completely automated. As you can see, it's now taking the items required, and it's going to build the two components. So there goes the first. The second is now being made, once again, being taken off our little resource storage. That will go on over once it's made, and that will make a pound cannon. Oh, I'm so happy this works as I thought it would. So there we are. Really, really simple. The whole refinery process is very easy if you don't want to have a single base which does everything, including selling items which you're not currently using. And of course, any runoff can simply go to the side. Now, right now, we don't have enough carbonite to keep on building that stuff, but do we have enough for a couple of batteries? I do need some more batteries. I also would like some of these. So actually, build me some more of these first, then a couple of batteries. Ah, now here's something interesting. This plasma emitter actually requires a heat coil, which means we need more than one of these component factories, since I imagine it's an advanced one, in a row. So the first one can build the heat coil, which then goes to the plasma emitter. So this would require the dongle, I think it's called. Here we are. So instead, craft the other items. Sadly, all the items I've just spent did sort of get destroyed. It's a shame, but not really too much of a deal, since I am still figuring this stuff out. So this will need to be a little bit longer, or perhaps just bend it around the side here so that we can have the refineries and the storage a bit further back, and then have two of the component factories, one after the other. I mean, technically, you wouldn't need two component factories in a row. You could swap it out so the input and output is reversed, so the output can then feed back into the input, especially since we're not constantly throwing things down here. Also, by the looks of things, I don't have enough of the green gems anyway, so let's go and get one of those, and then let's see if that will work. I didn't crash. I didn't crash again, both times in your imagination. You've got very wild imaginations, people. We've found ourselves a lovely green gem over there, and we've found ourselves one of the desert temples, so somewhere interesting to build when we eventually move away from the location we're currently at. And by the looks of things, we can use the auto miner over here, since the green gems are pretty rare. There we are. I'll just let that do its thing and sort of AFK next to it, and I will be right back once we're back at the base, making the dongle. Bringing an auto miner with you is so ridiculously helpful, but of course, if I had brought my SCU, I could just plop that down, then simply grab this from my inventory as I did the first time, and then put this back in the SCU and put the SCU back on my back, therefore kind of saving a lot of time and space. But it just feels good having it on the robot itself. It seems more correct. Well, the tech, I suppose. The vehicle. The thing I'm in. Now I remember, I did get a few comments from separate people talking about how they can't find carbonite in their world, and I think it's because it's not immediately obvious. It's these rocks here with these shining purple stars. So they don't have veins on them or anything else, but as you can see, once you break them, you get some carbonite, and then you have a carbonite resource patch, which you can use an auto miner and simply get more carbonite. So hopefully that helped someone. Maybe. I've just got back, and there we go, we have the advanced dongle. So, I've just attached it to our component factory, and now we can make the advanced things as well, such as the mother brain, the 0-point splitter, and the plasma emitter. Now, that's the one we needed before. So, I was thinking, whilst I was gathering the last of the resource we needed, what we could do is simply have the conveyor on a continuous loop, and this way, everything we make will end up going back through the component factory, and if it needs it, it will collect it. I also assume that with the component factory, that components can be held in silos, so if the item is not needed for whatever reason, if that somehow happens, it will just be stored in one of the many, many silos, which apparently we need more of. But I think the main issue with the silos is just that we're not filtering. So, for instance, we have way too many of these, the blue ore. We do not need this many. So if we had one silo which could only hold these, like the filter silos, then this would get completely filled. And then on the next silo, which could only hold the green ore, or the green shards, that would get completely filled. So if we added any more blue or any more green, it would simply pass on by and then be sold, therefore allowing us to have both a selling base and a crafting base, although we would have to meet a certain threshold before anything could be sold. So it would still be good to have a selling only base as well, just to make things easier. But for now, and with all of this now behind us, so now we know what we're doing, I'm afraid I am all out of time for today's episode, and yes, this craftier business is giving us the new component dongle. Like I was saying earlier, I was certain we would get stuff like the component factory soon, but I would rather make it myself so that I can understand all of the mechanisms here. So, honestly, we do need more of these anyway, and they're quite expensive to make, so definitely worth it. In the next episode, we will defend our base a little bit more, and we will make a final version of the factory here so that it's a bit more efficient and a bit cleaner looking, because at the moment it does look a little bit scrappy. So thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed the video, then of course, likes, favourites, shares, comments, all that good stuff helps out me, helps out the channel, and most importantly, shows that Terratech is a series you wish to see continued in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.